Welcome to Cronometer. This is going to be the app that we use moving forward to track your macros if and when we get to that point. So I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to this. So when you come in and you create your account, you'll see a few different buttons here at the bottom. So you've got Discovery, which is kind of your last few days in review. So if you've got your Apple Health connected to this, you can see pretty much everything. We can look at your averages. I can look at your full report. We can look at some charts. Again, more reporting type things. So I will spend a lot more time looking at the Discover page of your app. Where I want you to spend most of your time is in this diary. And this is where you're actually going to do the tracking. But before we get to that, let's talk about your targets. Now, based on what you and I discuss, if you have a weight goal, it could just be for maintenance. So in this one, this is mine. So my current weight is 169.7. My goal weight is 170. So this won't change any of the macros for me. Now, if this weight goal were to change, right, then that would mean that we need to adjust our macros. Okay, so macro and energy targets. We can use ratios fixed. We can even go keto, but we'll look at ratios or fixed. I'll get this all set up for you and let you know exactly what you need to put in here, right? So typically your protein is going to be at 1 gram per pound of body weight, which is what we've got set here. Typically that's around 30% of your total macros. Net carbs, depending on how active you are, this will go up, this will go down. And then fats are going to be fairly moderate, right? So the goal here is for a lot of you, especially you, is going to be getting you to eat consistently and making sure we've got the right number for you. Excuse me. All right, so then that will feed back into here, and that's going to show me, relative to your goals, kind of where you are and how things are tracking. So that's going to help me make decisions on what you're doing and how you're tracking. Okay, and so to actually track, your initial home screen is going to show your energy summary. So this is your distance to the target. Now, if we wanted to switch and show the balance based on your activity, this would show that you're in a little bit of a deficit. But for this, I'm about halfway through my day. So I'm about halfway through the amount of food that I should eat. So if we've decided that you're going to track your water, you're going to do that in the water line. And we'll make sure that you're all set up there. And then Uncategorize is going to pull in all of your health data from your phone. So whether that's Apple Health, Android Health, Garmin, whatever tools you're using, it will pull into that and help with the calculation. So this is really a smart tool. And then we go into breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, I'm going to help you with some meal prepping tools so that you're eating pretty much the same things every day. So getting good with measuring becomes easy because you know exactly how much is what, right? So if we were to look at tracking for dinner, because it's the only one I haven't tracked yet, we're going to go in here. We've got some options. The one that you're going to focus on is either add food or scan barcode. If there's no barcode and you're just adding a food, so like there's no barcode on an apple, then you would pick the apple that closely matches. If you wanted to go something a little bit more specific, like a Honeycrisp apple, typically that's going to be in there. This is a very large library. So you could select this. Then you would weigh out everything but the core of the apple, and that's usually 175 grams. Now, if it was like, all right, I'm going to change this to a medium apple because I don't have my scale with me, and that just goes to 1, and see how everything adjusts down here. That gets tied to dinner, or if you're like, wait a minute, I'm actually doing this as a snack, you would tap here and change that to a snack. And then add to diary. Now, if this is something that you're going to eat every day, you come up here to the 3 dots and hit add to favorites, and that's going to add it to your favorites. Okay. So now, if I were to look under my favorites, I've got Honeycrisp. I've got a few things that I know I eat pretty much daily: banana, eggs, Perfect bars are in there. I eat those some days. The beef, my protein shake. Right, so all of those things can fall in here, and then everything else falls into here. So as I'm searching, I can do that, or I can scan the barcode. So what I want you to do is when you are measuring your food, you're going to weigh it into grams. That is the most accurate way to get all the data that we need to make sure that we can be consistent over time and that I know how to make adjustments for you, right? If you're weighing it in ounces and the ounce doesn't quite correlate with the grams or the serving size, right? Let's just stick with grams. It's the easiest way, and everything has a grams option for measure. Okay, so this is the app. There's some other cool features, but we'll get into it in our one-on-one calls. But for the most part, this is what you'll use. You'll be able to look through it, use it. It's going to be a piece of cake once you get the hang of it. And remember, we're not tracking forever. We're tracking for a specific goal. And this is not the first thing we're starting off with, right? You'll have some practice under your belt and you'll start to know what you like. And we've got, like I said, you've got some other tools that you can use that will make this process that much easier.